G'day everyone, welcome to part 6 of building a track. And we are on somewhat the final legs of the track building stage. We've just got to fill out this final drop and breakdown, and then it will just be a matter of refining the other elements and little bits and pieces and articulations of the rest of our song. So to begin, I was just checking out my kick, and I made some very small changes, but I'll show you what I did. I increased the pitch up to A8. I moved this ever so slightly, and we'll have a look at what that does to the sound. So it's kind of giving it a higher, tighter pitched transient. And that brings me to my next point. There was one other dot that I moved, and that was this one here. And you can hear that when I move it against the wall, it becomes quite a pronounced click. And I was just playing around, so I got the right kind of click for the kick. We could even keep it on the wall and just bring the volume down. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm quite happy with that. So we're just going to keep it at that. But these are the small changes that you'll be making across your venture into a song. And I also changed my sidechain a little bit too. And I've had a lot of people ask me, they're like, how do you know where to move it to? And, you know, it's quite hard to answer that. But I just do it to my ear. We'll move it randomly, and then I'll move it back to where I think hears the best, or sounds the best. And that point would be here for me. Sometimes I go a little bit further and then drag it back, but for me, this sounds like that's where they're blending the best. And that is pretty much my process, my creative decision. It's up to you to practice and, you know, be able to hear the subtle differences in between all of that. So, yeah, we are going to go straight into the final break. And we're not going to be adding any new sounds. We should have enough material in what we've done so far to recycle all of this and arrange it in the final drop, okay? So that is our goal. Starting with this one. Actually, probably not with that one. We'll start with our OG, our main one, which is this one here. I've put that on the wrong lane. Have I? There's a lot going on. Oh, okay, it's on triplet grid. I was wondering why that was not working. And let's just adjust this. This must have an integrated rhythm or beat into it, because... Okay. Oh, it's just 2 different notes, that's why. Yeah, and we're actually going to go for some longer notes here. The previous break was quite jointy, disjunct, or, you know, jumping around different sounds. So we're actually going to really stretch out some of the tones of these basses that we've got. Yep, so we might even have it go the full length here. And the reason being is this is just going to be a different groove to what was in the song previously. We're adding a little bit more contrast in terms of the approach to the bass design. So having longer notes instead of shorter notes. We might even actually extend this even more. Yeah, okay, cool. And we just need to take note as well that our sub is bending and does have a certain kind of rhythm to it. Let's listen to it so we can hear it. Because when we do have these bends, we kind of want to be aware of what our mid bass is doing also. So with the kick as well, that'll be a bit easier to hear. Okay, and yep, let's continue working on this bass, stretching it out, and we might have a response layer behind it. Okay, so it bends here, and we're going to continue the technique that we used in some of the other basses. We're going to have this follow. We're going to have it follow the sub bass, because it just kind of makes sense, you know. I don't know why we would. It sounds like they're clashing with the sub going whoa, and this one just staying by itself. So the reasoning is just because my ears are telling me that this should be bent in the same way. I think it's here. Yep, that's nice. Yep, I'd like to have more movement in this, to be honest. Yeah, and we might layer that little end part with the neuro basses that we began. Like these are kind of only in this part, and yeah, we will put more of them through the rest of this. Just takes time, you know. It takes time. We have to be really aware of the layers that we have and what we want. This one could be pretty nice, or a portion of it. Okay, final drop. okay, we might want this part here with a bit more movement. You can see these, the filterings, you can almost see this cone shape in there. Whoa. Still not liking this chop. I want one of the chops, just not that one. Yeah, okay, cool. We can go for the screechy guy instead. The one right there. Perfect. As you can tell, it's becoming quite difficult to navigate this project now that we, you know, have a lot more layers. We've got 79. I'm having to do a lot of scrolling to kind of navigate where we are. And, you know, this might be the time where you minimize some of these just to make it a bit easier. And the thing is, once you've done this, you can kind of see the puzzle a bit better too. You know? It should be a faster way. Hold on a second. Okay, we've got that, and let's grab all these. Press left, and that will shorten them. So this is our base movement. We can see the whole arrangement now a little bit better. It's still a pain in the ass to navigate. Like, we've got all of this that I want over here. So, you know, I might think about, maybe I'll actually just copy and paste some chunks of these, and then, so we have some different blocks, and then we will change them while they're there. Yeah, okay. Final drop. We just lost the, this one. Let's get all the ones under this dunk. Okay, and then we'll grab the ones on top. Okay, cool. So this needs to be removed. We're not going to have that. What is this one, actually? We could do some more kind of effects to this one. This is basically the same patch, but if we put another layer of, maybe a phaser or a flange could be cool. A flanger. That could be great. Okay, this is that double one. There should be a rate somewhere. We might increase the rate and really flange this thing out. I tell you what, we are going to remove that, and we're just going to make a variation of it. So okay, there we go. to get the variation, we're probably just going to change the wavetable to something else, and we might even do a pulse width modulation. We might even be able to keep the same one. Okay, so that's really taken a lot of the tone out. I think it was FMing from the sub. Yeah, it must have been. Okay, let's keep it FMing from the sub and let's change this as well. We might even have one of these flutter. This might even go every 16th note. I'm just trying to add some variation or some layer on top of this. So we've got a synth and I want to make it more interesting. So I'm thinking of what kind of things I can do to the oscillator to make it a bit more individual. That's cool. We might even put this on this one as well. Okay, so yeah, this could be nice. And we might even put a little pitch bend on there as well. And we're going to have a little donk here. Yeah. That'll be good. We're just going to make sure this filter cutoff drops a little bit more. Yep, cool. I know I said we weren't going to be adding any more layers, but I lied. Actually, we'll take this and we'll just turn it into a pluck. So let's add the MIDI clip. Put a little E. Let's just have a look at what octave we need to be using. E2 for this. And that will change depending on what octave the oscillators are on in the synth. So let's check this out. We're going to turn that one off. We're going to put this one back on. What was it? I think it was this. And we are going to make a pluck and put that on here. Fancy that, we have a pluck sound. So I hope. Okay. So we need to remove this automation. And also this. Wow, it's really lost a lot of its depth, hasn't it? As in, like, it sounds like there's not much low end anymore. Like, it's just fully disappeared. Which is quite strange, actually. It might be because of these. These levels were meant to be going to this LFO, and we just reduced them all. So yep, cool. So that was the issue there. And you know, sometimes these things take a little bit too. They're disguised because there's so much going on. You know, it's very easy to overlook one knob or something behaving in a certain way, and then you know you get lost. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm thinking that we might even keep recycling this and put a free rate LFO on there and do some more plucky kind of variations of it. And if that didn't make any sense to you, then hopefully this bit will. So we need to remove this envelope because we don't have control over the timing of, or repetition of that. And we're going to go back to the LFO and pretty much just do exactly as we were with this envelope. We're turning it into a pluck shape. But now we can turn BPM off and we have control of the rate. So we can do some crazy things. And I covered this in my controlling time lesson in the fundamentals course. You know, obviously that sounds rubbish now because we haven't really adjusted any of this yet. We need to be adjusting the rate first of all. So we've got rate. Okay, so that must be going really slow. It's like, it's not doing much. Okay, that's quite strange. It's not behaving the way that I want it to. So, what we're going to do, we're just going to have a look at what's going on here. It's probably because of all of these envelopes. Yeah, I don't really get what's going on there. We're just gonna put a fresh serum on there. And we'll probably just switch over this donk with the one above at some point. So very simply, we want this LFO on the cutoff. We want it to be re-triggering, and we want to have control of the rate. Okay, we're probably gonna put some similar kind of things that were on the previous sound, and find some kind of wave. Let's have a look at what wave it was. It was a pulse wave. So one of these guys. Okay, so this is the behavior that we want. And now when we move the rate, we should have a cleaner pluck sound. I'm not really sure what was going on before, but as I said, it's easy to overlook certain parameters that are going on in these sounds, and excuse me. It's hard to know all the time, and because we're on a time limit, I don't want to waste all of my time messing around trying to find the answer, you know? So, yep, we've got rate. Okay, so we're going to reduce this. We're going to do the FM from the sub as well. Okay, so that one's too low. This is nice to mention too. The detune kind of controls how much width. You see when I put this width up and those 2 points went quite wide, it went really phasey. Which is kind of not very usable, but if we reduce the detune, we're reducing the distance between probably the delay that thing's utilizing. We can find a midpoint that's quite pleasing to the ear. Cool. I still like the sound of this one more. That's okay though. And this one's just fully lost the plot. I don't know if it's because it's too quiet or it's not bright enough. I guess these are some of the issues that we encounter when we're making this kind of music. We might just bail on this idea of this LFO modulated thing. We already have a pluck with this effect on it, and I probably should have just used that. But we're going to go for some kind of some other kind of sound that's going to sweep downwards through its filter over a longer period of time. So So we're just salvaging the time at the moment. Okay, cool. So let's have a listen. So there's a bend going on in the sub as well. And yeah, we might. And there's 1, 2, boom, boom. So it's happening on the third beat there. And we could even see what this sounds like when we pitch this and follow the sub. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's a lot smoother. Okay, cool. So we've gotten something out of that at least. And we might even have this climb up. You know, because we've added all of this on, that original filter is not going to be capturing everything. So we might move this to a band pass even. And we can put it on here instead. Okay, that would have to be the other way around. So we've lost quite a lot of volume on it. And we can just add a utility at the end of it. Just always be aware of the input volume as well. Like, we can crank the master because you can see that this is nowhere near clipping it. And we're probably going to put a nice kind of reverb on here too. This might want to come after the filter. Okay, so there's some weird pop, and that's going to be one of the automations, I would say. Okay. Okay, I've got no idea what that is. It gets masked by the kick drum anyway. So we're gonna continue pushing on. We're gonna keep half of this. And we might even pull back this donk that was here. I really liked this one. Yep, so this one can definitely come in there. Okay, this one, I don't really like it there. And we might grab some of this sound design, actually. Ooh, that was cool. Okay. Okay, that was kind of cool. We might just have it stop for that bass. And sometimes we're just going to see what this is. I've got no idea, but it might fit perfectly. No, it does not. I was really hoping that that would work. I really like this tiny bit in here. Let's get that, and we're going to do some cool stuff with it. Yeah, okay, cool. It's got some really interesting, like, stereo kind of stuff going on. And we're probably going to think about what else to add to really tie this all in together. Essentially, like, our final drop is pretty much a showcase of all of the sounds that we hear. So we're probably going to have the guitar. We're probably going to have the melodic stuff in there as well. And it's going to be like a last final hurrah of all of the sounds coming together. So, there's something I wanted to mention as well. Not sure where I hear it or heard it or what it's called, but it's the 80-20 rule. And so essentially, we started this track off blisteringly quick. We got so much done with a small amount of energy. And so the 80-20 rule is you usually get 80% of something done with 20% of your energy. And then it takes 80% of your energy to get the final 20% done. And so we're definitely slowing down. Like, not too slow though. We're gonna get this done in next couple of sessions, but sometimes we really have to grit it out and just accept that this is the process and enjoy the time where things work out really well and easily, and just be patient for the other times where you need to work a little bit harder. And this session is one of those for me. So we're gonna add atmospheres and sirens. All right, we might add some. I forgot about this guy. Okay, he can come into play. It's a sound that we haven't used that much, so it might be nice to use now. Whoa, okay. Yeah, okay, they kind of blend well together. I still wanted to work on this a little bit. I think we can... This kind of sounds like a vocal chop. It's really nice. And I'd like to have it repeat through here. Yeah, I would like to repeat this because... Oh, is this the rhythm? Yeah, we might just have it like this. And we'll just make it fit in the mix a little bit better. We're probably going to chuck the amp saturator on there to bring out some more artifacts in the sound. Yeah, cool. We could even do some call and response stuff in between all of this. Dun 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 dun, and then have some basses. Dun 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 dun. And this idea might evolve a little bit more with a bit more time. Okay. That's a sassy robot right there. And you can see that it's just... yeah. The final part of a track can be a bit grueling. But I'm going to show you that we can get this shit done, regardless of how we feel. This is a job, and we're committing to it. Whoa. I think that would even be really nice with the kick disappeared. It's kind of like a little statement. We've just got to move one more. Yeah. Okay, cool. Just remember, if you're always chopping these subs, you're going to have to move the original note to the beginning, otherwise it will not play. Oh, that part should almost be at the end here. Yeah, okay, we're going to have to redo all of that. Well, not redo all of it. We're just going to move this bit here And these two should go together. Yeah, because realistically, this is kind of like one of those mini fills, and cool. So we've got this little nice vocally robot. We've got some. We can keep riffing on these for sure. We haven't even really done much resampling using some of these warp options. It kind of sounds like it's resonating at a different pitch, and I'm just gonna double check that. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. Is kind of where it's at. So. Okay, so it's resonating at a D flat, and that's not good. D flat, D, D sharp, E. Okay? Oh god. So this should be resonating at E now. Oh wow, went to 48. And we'll just have to double check that, because if that means that all of these are resonating at the same key. No. Let's have a look. No, that one's good. That's perfect at an E. What's this? That doesn't really have a pitch. It's that discernible. Okay, cool. Bentley. So it's an A. We could reduce it by 5, and it might sound more E-ish. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to worry about it too much. So let's just keep going on. I don't know if we've used this yet, but it's quite a nice little chop, that one. Okay, and the rest is kind of repeating. So, you know, we did that long sound design session, and we're picking out some parts that stand out. You know, not all of it. A lot of it's going to be repeating or small variations of a sound, and we're just going to pick the ones that we like the most, okay? Yeah, that's a cool sound. It's got huge sub in it. So we're going to cut all of that out. I need to refill my morning brown. All right, we're good to go. Got that Mexican bean. Okay. Yeah, so there'll be, let's just have a look. I'm just gonna I'm gonna cut it at the B note because B is the fifth of E, and as we discussed, perfect fifth is the second most harmonically coherent interval in music. So sometimes even cutting an E or a B, which would be the fifth, is a smart thing to do. Again, whatever sounds good, but this sounds good to me with some kind of reason behind it. Cool. So, all right, let's go from this final drop. I am committed to getting more of this done. Okay, so it kind of sounds all over the fucking place, to be honest. It doesn't sound like there's really like a groove that's tied in together. Not as strong as the previous part anyway. I felt like this was really strong. You know, this is sounding a bit weak, let's be honest, and that's okay. We're going to recognize that it needs more work, and we're going to figure out what we can do to improve it. And I think, yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of arranging. So this bit could be here. Okay. Is that off donk that I wanted? No, it's not. Okay, where's that? So I know I want this song to be a bit more, this sound to be a bit more prominent, and oh, okay, cool. So it's here is the one I'm looking for. And I'm hearing this bit, like here, is a nice way to round off that little phrase. This could be filtered, I think might help it. Like, it kind of sounds like they're not really flowing into each other, which is fine. We had a really good run before. And, you know, we're always going to get to a point where wrong way round. It's because of that. I don't know why the triplet was automatically turning on. There was a little hat somewhere. It's gonna be so hard to find. It was just, oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, that's not what I wanted. We want a bit sharper white noise, I think. Sound design. What could that possibly be? Cool. So I'm just doing some small changes to a lot of things here. Let's just hear if there are any more drums or anything in this part. Okay. Oh, okay, so that would be... Obviously, when you get to big points of tension, I talked about this kind of exhaust. They're called exhausts or downers. I guess you could call them lifters. There's risers and downers. So we're looking for an exhaust, which is basically it's just white noise. We could make our own, but I've got a whole bunch here. This one's actually got a great tone. And so I was like, oh, there's something missing, you know. It sounds like it was just missing a lot of energy or space, and that was what it was missing. We might even put a larger reverb on that because I want it to go just for a little bit longer. Yeah, okay, cool. So you can see that that's added a ginormous amount of spatial kind of content to this drop. And I've just sidechained it too. Cool. Okay, cool. They're even chopping that up with some other sounds, which is pretty dope. We might do something similar. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll stop it here and we're gonna add some little glitchy guys. We could even reuse the ones that were up here somewhere because they were pretty nice. It's gonna be a great time trying to find them. Yep, okay, that one. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Now to... Oh well, fuck it. We're just gonna make I don't want to waste my time looking for it, so we can always just add another audio here and yeah, that's cool. One more little glitch would be cool. That is definitely not a glitch. We want some... Oh, this one was pretty cool, actually. It's still cool, but it's definitely not a glitch that I'm looking for. Let's just change this one. Let's reverse it. Let's go like 24. Oh, just fully disappeared. Went a bit too quick, did we? If that's the case, -12. We're gonna bring that here. Let's go 30, 35. Reverse. Might even warp this thing. Warp this one. Sometimes it's hard to know what's going on here. Yeah, cool. Well, that's what I'm after. We basically just chopped this, pitched some up and down certain octaves and stretched them out using a warp mode. And we got something that's usable. Just throwing some dial-up tones in there for good nature, you know? Yeah, cool. So this is starting to groove a bit harder. We just need to arrange and layer some more. So, wake is what I've got for this one. Yeah, like this is... I don't know, is it too quiet? It is, but... It just needs a support layer because it's just not doing it for me in the mix, you know? I think the rest is really great. And sometimes what I'm listening for is the fullness of a lot of these sounds. Like, it just sounds like that part needs something else there. You know, these 2 hits even. And we're just going to get some of these textural mutations. Oh, that could be cool. We might even chuck some stuff in Granulator and design some of our own. Okay, not that one. They're really, really great for... They would be really good little glitch sounds. And we'll see if we can find just a point of this to use as a layer. And there's a couple of other things we can do here. We can... Yeah, okay, cool. So let's... This is still not working for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the... We're going to duplicate this. Instead of this going down, we're going to have one moving up. We're going to change these to just whatever. We're going to be random, chuck a spectral monster on there. And we're actually going to automate this upwards. So we've got one going down and one coming up. And hopefully this is going to bring in more content that we didn't have before. Let's move one to the left. It still needs something like more distortion. We might want to put an atmosphere on there. So I'm just riffing through a bunch of ideas how to thicken up this sound. Okay, that's cool. And now I just want another atmosphere on the left. Or right, whichever one it is. Okay. We're just going to turn this one down a little bit. And do a bit more distortion to this side. Okay, cool. That sounds a bit more balanced. So I'm real picky about this one, eh? Okay, that's fine. We're just going to support it with another base layer. maybe this is a nice layer for that one. We want this one to drop off also. They can begin a bit later in case we need them, so we're not lost as to where we turn them on. This could have a little bit more feedback on the delays. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more organized. We've chucked a whole bunch of stuff down, and that's great, but we do need to organize it a bit more. So the groove is stronger. Like, yeah, there's information there, and it's bouncing around, but for me, it doesn't feel too connected. And that will be your decision to make as an artist, as to when you decide it is connected. You know, to my ears, it sounds chaotic. And sure, this music can be quite chaotic, but we can also organize the chaos a bit better so it's a bit easier to digest. Okay. Might even want this here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So that part's cool at least. Yep, cool. It's almost like this still needs a little bit of oomph. Actually, no, it doesn't. We'll just go for one big note here. Cool. So I wanted this section just to be basses and sound effects. And now I've said Atmos and Sirens. So we're going to add more of the melodic elements in. We're going to transition them in, and then we're going to break the track down. And then we shall be done. I'm going to go a bit extra on this lesson because I feel like it's been a bit challenging for me this session to find, you know, a groove for this part. Like, it's coming along for sure, but it's just taking a bit longer than I'd hoped, and I want to make the most out of this session. Yeah, okay, cool. So we've got we can have this follow the bass again. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna do some kind of downward pluck. Do. And we can also do this. Okay, so it's coming along. Still needs a bit of work here. This is cool. I just don't want it to be there. Yep. Okay, so we're going to bring in this part. Oh, okay. Yep, okay. This is happening here. I just want some little small articulations in this area as well. And we are going to do something new. We're going to get some... There was this stone wire foley, which is really cool. And we're going to do some weird shit to it. Yep, perfect. Let's put that here. Okay, doesn't want to go there. Gonna get an arpeggiator. And we're gonna do some more recordings just so I can get some glitchier kind of effects and have a play around with something else here. Because I want some more, and we're also going to use some of these and put them in the introduction of the song and earlier parts of the song. Let's just make this a longer note. Okay. We could even make this 16th notes. That could be cool. Unfortunately, this can't just... Actually, maybe it can. If we put this in a sampler. Okay, pitch bend. We could change the velocity, which would change the loop start. That could be cool. So that means we're just going to put this in 16th notes, and we can press B and get our... Oh, hold on a sec. Get this. And this should change the loop start point, which will give us variation of the sample. So I'm hoping anyway. Okay, so that sucks. That didn't work. Anyway, we're just going to record it in and get some stuff, and then I'm going to have a play around and stretch some things out a bit more later. Actually, we can have sustain mode. That's because of this. now we want to have one note. It actually sounds cool as it is, so we're just gonna take that, smash it to audio. So, freeze and smash it to audio, and then we'll stretch out some things. And so we might even use the granulator, actually, if I have it. I do have the granulator too, that's cool. I haven't used this in a long time. Gabe, Mr. Cyanol, is a granulator expert. Alright, so this is what we wanted. Okay, we're gonna map some stuff because we're gonna map the grain. We're gonna map the spray. And then we're just gonna get LFOs to do all this for us. Because sometimes that's just easier, you know? Alright, time. Let's map the curve. Is this the pitch? Let's just double check that. There should be a pitch somewhere. File position, fantastic. We can map that one. And we're going to get an LFO to do it for us. That's what the computer's for, right? So LFO map to this guy. Let's do it random. Some kind of rate. We'll make it a bit smoother actually. We're gonna map this one to this guy and also make it a bit smoother. We're gonna put the rate up this one. And we're just going to continue this process for all of them. So we have all these things moving independently and we don't have to do anything. We're just going to hit record and then see what comes out. You know, if I obviously had a little controller with knobs on it, I'd be doing it myself, but I'm in the middle of the desert and I do not have those resources currently. Which is also great for you guys to see. I'm using a pair of headphones and my computer, and that's it. That's my whole studio. And we're going to create a professional Psytech track that's going to release on a big label. We're going to aim to get it done in, it's looking at like 10 hours now, 12 hours. And all you need is a laptop, knowledge, experience, and a pair of headphones. Which, that's some pretty exciting stuff, I think. Yep, okay, cool. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Resample, we're going to file position going? I'm actually not getting the results that I want. I think it's because I've automated too many things. And you know, it's kind of, I want like a repeated thing that I can stretch out, but whatever. We're just going to do some more weird shit with grain delay. And yeah, resample that in. And yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, cool. So we got a nice little riser out of that and a downer. So yeah, that's pretty dope. And I actually wanted to add one of these into the drop anyway. So let's find it. Okay, so this is the downer. I'm trying to think of another word to use outside of this, but currently it's going to be the downer. And this is the upper, bruh. Oh. Yep, cool. Oh, there's a little bit more there. So, upper, what did we get out of this? Anything? We might even go a... Let's reuse this. And let's just put Infiltrator on it. And Portal. So we got a downer and an upper, and we're gonna resample this once more and just get more variations in the change. We can even put a loop on this, and let's see what we get. Wow, there's some really offensive stuff in there. And sorry for your ears. I had to adjust the volume because it was just it's way too loud. Oh, what's going on here? Don't tell me we lost it all. Nah, that can't be right. Oh, that's just when I turn the volume down. That's cool. We can save that. We're lazy. We go like this. Boom. Boom. And chuck this guy up by boom. Problem solved. Let's get rid of this guy. And yeah, cool. All right. We're at 136 and I'm going to leave that lesson there. This lesson, we weren't as productive as the previous lessons, which is completely fine. We've gotten some more ideas and things to work with. I'm just going to have one more listen through what I have done for this final drop because, yeah, there's something there. We have more of an idea now. I know that we want to... Let me just make this note as well. We want to have this stuff here. So I'm going to write a note in my notes to include more melodic content in the second half of the drop and then flesh it out, and we should be pretty close. And also chuck in all these glitches, scatter them around here and work on the arrangement a little bit more. But yeah, we're definitely getting there. We're definitely getting there. Let's have a listen from here. Let's just turn these off. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to have this bit repeat because I like it, and I think, yeah, it adds some kind of flavor. But yeah, I'm happy with this, this little bit that we have done, and we have some ideas, so it should be easy to finish in the next session, and I'll see you all then.